What's going on, guys? So here I am, another Explained series. This time I'm gonna be doing Soul Survival, which is like the most productive band I've had as far as content, playing live, stuff like that. So, like I mentioned, my Project Schism video. After I did Heavy Breathing, I created Soul Survival, right? So I kind of, did Heavy Breathing, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this music thing again. So I was feeling kind of demotivated, and I think I actually remember at one point in the process of recording Heavy Breathing, I actually quit. I actually quit, and Kat, took me out of the studio. We hung out for a bit. He talked to me and stuff like that. So it was yeah, it was interesting plan, but I actually like did quit for a little bit. So after I got done with Heavy Breathing, I was like, okay, I want to do music again. I want to form a band again. I want to try again. I want to do this again. See, if I can get anywhere. See if I got farther than I got the last time, right? So I got this huge poster board, and I like wrote metal band seeking drummer, lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist, keyboardist, singer, and I like hand drew the little Facebook and the Twitter logo and went to Kinko's and printed out I think about like 30 copies of it, put it up like Santa Fe, UF, downtown, and everything. I put like a bunch of these flyers up, right? And they were big. They were probably about like the size of my chest, probably. And so, I was, I made the Facebook page for it, just didn't really have any artwork at the time. And I got hit up by mainly singers. I got hit up by like two female singers, a male singer. And then so I auditioned. Well, one of them sent me a tape, and it was really good. She mixed and mastered herself, recorded it, but then she's like, oh, well, I don't really want to play like metal or anything like that. I'm more into pop. And I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And then another singer messaged me. Actually, went to high school with her. We actually had a chorus together. So she messaged me. We met up. She auditioned. I was like, okay, cool, got a singer. Awesome. So then we were looking for the rest of the members, and my brother had moved back to town, so he actually joined on guitar. And then we went through like a bunch of different other members, but like the first real lineup we had, I guess, was it was me on bass, and my singer was gonna do keys as well. My brother was actually on drums, and then we had another guitar player. So it was 4 piece, not bad. That was the first real like lineup we had, I guess. Never played a show, recorded or nothing, but that was the first lineup we had. And I'd already had a couple of songs like skeletoned out that I was thinking about, like these could be good, soul survival songs. Just have to put like maybe a little more symphonic element to them because they were a little bit more thrashy. So I was like, okay, maybe we can do these songs right here. So we did that, and my brother ended up leaving the band, and then the guitarist ended up leaving the band because he thought we were trying to be too like Evanescence or whatever, but no, we didn't think that. But anyway, so it was pretty much just me and my singer for a while, right? So we actually recorded the debut EP Ascend at Cat's house, the same place I recorded Heavy Breathing. I recorded all the guitars and bass there, the backing vocals. He put in the drum samples that I wrote, and then we recorded all the lead vocals there as well in his closet. He was living like two different places, so like recorded them in one place, and then when he moved from that place, went to another place and recorded them. And Kat also mixed it and mastered it, and it was just it was a process, man. Just recording it all, because Kat's a really good producer. So I wrote the bass line, and he was like, "Why don't you do this and do this with it?" So I was like, "Okay, that did sound better." And I remember like when he was mixing and mastering Dark and Light, it took about 7 different masters until it got right. And then even before that, with Shadow Torsion and Nuclear Tide, it took about like 3 or 4 versions of each. And it was really like it was my first time recording with anybody else, you know what I mean? Because I had like done some project schism stuff, and I had done some session stuff for Sons of Iskar, but I never actually recorded like, hey, these are the harmonies I wrote you, these are the lyrics, like bouncing lyrics back and forth between my singer, seeing what she thought of them, and telling her, hey, these are the harmonies and stuff like that, and having to like produce and direct her along with Kat. It was really kind of cool, and just the whole like mixing mastering process and everything like that. It was really kind of a cool experience. So pretty much the debut P was really just me and her. And then we went and found another couple of members who later dropped. So then we ended up having my singer leave because we found a keyboardist and we found a guitar player. But we didn't have a drummer at the time. And we were auditioning a drummer who turned out to be my brother. And excuse me, she quit after we said he was in the band after his audition, right? So the singer quit, so it was me, the keyboardist, swing guitarist, and a drummer, right? So then the keyboardist quits and the drummer quits. So all in all, I think this band has been through about 15 different members, not counting the current members. So it's just been a lot of members. You just got to find the right people and everything like that. Like people want to like change the music, and like one of the guitarists who came in with the keyboardist was like, yeah, let's just like release it instrumentally and then see what kind of singer we find, because maybe we can find Hart's vocals on it. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do. And there's stuff just didn't work out. So eventually it comes to my brother is rhythm guitar. And then when I was in college, I had music class with this guy named DJ. And after he told me he only played clarinet, right? So he told me to play clarinet, but then me and my brother at Guitar Center jamming, and we're playing like Creeping Death, and he just happens to be there and rips off the solo like it's nothing. I was like, oh, I didn't know you play guitar. He was like, yeah. I was like, so then we asked him to be in the band, and so he was in the band. So then we had him and my brother, and then we found our second singer. We auditioned her, and she was in the band. So it was like singer, me on bass and keys, and of course we would perpetually look for keyboards. Keyboards are hard to find. So like me on bass and keys, singer, guitarist, and another guitarist, right? And then so we were looking for a drummer. And so my ex guitarist sent me like an open jam session that was like close to my house. So I was like, hey, my lead guitarist brought his guitar. And then, we went to this open jam. There was a drummer there. And she was the only drummer there. But she was like, she was mainly punk. She was there with her band. But, she sat up there and jammed everything. And we went up there and played like from the Bell Tools and Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I gave her my card. She was like, well, I'm already in two bands. I don't think I can do it. I was like, well, if you change your mind, here. So I gave her my card. And then that was on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, one of the two. And then on like January 3rd or 4th, my ex-keyboardist hit me up because my ex-keyboardist and my ex-guitarist, who were dating, knew her. So she hit them up because she lost my card and wanted to audition. So she auditioned and she got in. So boom. So it was me, my brother on guitar, my lead guitarist, and then the drummer, and then our singer. So boom, we had a full lineup. So we got a practice space. We used to practice at Guitar Center's rehearsal rooms, but it was expensive, and we were getting like noise complaints from customers and stuff. So, being there 3 times a week for 3 hours every time was getting really costly, and stuff like that. So our drummer got us a practice space that her band also shared with 2 other bands. So the days we practiced were the exact days that they had available, so that worked out really well. Started paying right there, split the room with other bands. That was cool. So then we got our, we got our synergy, I guess. We kind of figured out what songs we wanted to play, but take us probably about a week or 2 to figure out what songs, because we bounced back covers, and so we're like, oh, I can't do those drum fills, or I can't play bass that good, or I can't hit all those notes, and my tapping that good. So it took like forever to figure out, what covers to play. Because when we first started playing, we only played one original, and that was Jar of Pandora. So once we got our set together, I think our first set list was like For Whom the Bell Tolls, Symphony of Destruction, Jar of Pandora is the original. Then we did like Smells Like Teen Spirit and like Ace of Spades, right? So our set was mainly covers, one original. And then we played, so the band officially became a thing in 2014. That's when I like created the concept and everything like that. And then we played our first show in 2017 at Hardback Cafe. It was like us, I think like King Orange, um, and a bunch of other bands. I think Unidentified was there too, and there was like two other bands there, and we went on second. So the first show was in 2017. Went went really great. Super nervous first show with everybody, but we all went up there, we rocked it, had a great time. Like my mom, my dad, my sister came out. Like one of my bosses came out. Like all our friends, family were there. It was really cool just to have that be our first show. So we played about 4 shows with that lineup, and then we fired our singer. But before we fired our singer, my brother quit. So he quit, moved to Orlando to do his own thing, and then we fired our singer. And then so we were looking for a new singer, and and a guitar player. So we actually auditioned 2 guitar players because one of the guitar players was in the same music class with me and DJ, my lead guitarist. And we put out ads on like Facebook and Craigslist, stuff like that. And so he came in audition, and he auditioned, went pretty well. We had another guy come in audition as well, who we knew through our old singer, who was a really cool guy. He came in, auditioned, it went really well. And we auditioned him, and then we chose Dean as our rhythm guitar player. So then we were just looking for a singer. And we were looking for a singer for about 6 weeks, because I remember we got Dean in September. And then we got Dorothy in like November, I believe, or late October. So Dorothy came in audition. She sent us an audio audition, just like a raw, like take it for singing, like I believe a thing called "Love by the Darkness." And we were like, okay, well, she can work, So we brought her in for an audition. She actually auditioned twice. So she came in once, and then she came in again. And then she auditioned twice, and we are like, okay, well, are you willing to like take the voice lesson, And she's like, yeah, cool. So, I gave her voice lessons for a little bit, and she taught herself, and then she also taught herself how to growl. And then she joined in November, and I think our first show with that lineup was a test show, because there was an open jam at a bar, 6th Street North, where it was. It was like an open jam, so, because we had booked a gig. There was like It Is Written was touring, and they were coming through Gainesville. So we said yes to that, but we had to make sure, everyone, because, like Dorothy had never like performed with the band before, and, like Dean hadn't, played with us. So, we just had to make sure we, get together and like, get all the present stuff going and just be comfortable with each other. So we played this little open jam, which turned out to be at like a bar that turned out to be like a veterans open mic night. So everyone there was like minimum age 60. And we played like From the Bell Tolls, Ace of Spades, and I think we played Sunday Instruction too. And as soon as we started playing our first song, everyone just moved to the back. Like they all just moved to the back of the venue, as far away from the stage as possible. But we closed with Ace of Spades, and they love that, so wasn't too bad. So that show went pretty well, and so we're like, okay, cool, we can do this. We're ready for this show. So we did this show. It was awesome. It was the first show with our new lineup, and then we just kept playing shows from there. There was one point where we were playing like 2 shows a month, and we were playing shows and shows and shows, and it was going real well. We did a couple of playthroughs, did a lot of playthroughs. A playthrough Order Board from Chaos, Red River, back before there was like a whole lineup. DJ and I did like a playthrough video for Jar of Pandora that was filmed by Digital Gator. Digital Gator also filmed like our first 2 or 3 shows, and then we actually played a show with some bands called Illusion. It was Illusion, us, and a band called Prophets of Demise. And their singer actually asked us if we could film, being played. So we actually have like a pro shot, pro sound video, like it's a full set, and it's on the Soul Survival YouTube channel. Of course, I'll put a video of it up here, but we actually have like a full pro-filmed version of our set list from that night, which is really cool. And so, eventually a set list evolved. Like we changed up the covers when it was still just four of us. After my brother quit, but before we fired our singer, it was like four of us. And we kept Jar Pandora as the opener. And then we did Man in the Box. We did Rainbow in the Dark. We did like the Alien Ant Farm cover, Smooth Criminal, and Creeping Death, and Sweating Bullets. And before we fired our singer, we actually did play Red River live once with her. So that was pretty cool. So eventually it evolved to like having Jar Pandora as the opener. Then we went into like, I don't know what we had, but we only doing two covers, and we ended with Red River. We played Jar Pandora, Red River, Shadow Torsion, and Jar Pandora, River, Shadow Torsion, and Nuclear Tide. We played Nuclear Tide. And for a while, we played them in standard tuning because there was only one song there with standard D. But then when we start, incorporating more songs, then we decided to go, down that whole step because we started playing Nuclear Tide. Yeah, so eventually it started being all originals. So we would play. So eventually, like before we went to all originals, it was like we'd play 4 originals and 3 covers, right? But like one issue we had was like everyone would like only remember the cover. We'd get done, we'd play 4 originals, 3 cover, but everyone would only be like, yeah, thanks for the Motorhead cover, thanks for the Metallica cover, and we kind of got tired of that. It was like, well, what about the the originals? And no one really remember them. Pandora. Then we went into A Pride of Sins. Then we went into Slithering Darkness. Then we went into Nuclear Tide, and those are the 3 Whole Step Down songs. And then we would go with Shadow Torsion, and then we'd end off with Red River. So that's what our set list live eventually became. And we did play another song, but we only debuted it live once acoustically. But that was what our set originally became. So we were playing a lot of shows and everything was going good. We were playing in Gainesville a lot. We played at Hardback, played at High Dive. It was just like really, really cool. We just got to play out a lot and it was awesome. We were having fun. We made little stickers and we were selling those. People even gave us tips, and it was like really, really good. We weren't making like super huge money, but we were actually like getting paid, doing this stuff. And then our drummer quit. And after that, we kind of just were looking for another drummer, and we went through about 5 different drummers. Went through one guy, and then he like hurt himself. Another guy decided instead of being drums, he wanted to like be a vocalist. Another guy was super into it, came to audition, was about it. Then we showed him the music, and then he like, oh well, blah 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 blah. So we went through a lot of drummers, and so we kind of shifted to being like a studio more band after that. Just like working on new music, getting new stuff out.
Is that your justification?
Yeah.
I'm 18 months younger than you. Like,
in that cage match, your ball's like, well, he walked into the cage first, so
come back.
So he shouldn't have died.
Yeah.
We just kind of shifted to be like a studio band.
All right, so we're gonna go from the beginning, and then we're gonna like stop after before the Sea World Turn
Red River.
Okay.
So from like Brothers and Sisters
more play
to Discord and
some behind the
stuff.
scenes.
Brothers and sisters,
But after like the pandemic,
born of the same blood,
doing too much live,
violent toward one another, breaking the bonds of love, sowing seeds of discord, hatred in our eyes, as wicked grins cross our faces. Gleefully we reap from the fields of discord.
The body counted, the madness running, corrupting peering holds us. Falls victim to emotion, amid the senseless.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! brought to you by Miller Lite.
It's definitely my baby for sure. It's the band I went the farthest with. Band I dare say I'm probably love the most. My bandmates, the ones that are there still, are like, my family. We have like a little group chat. We talk about stuff. We really like share stuff with each other. We've had like birthday parties for each other, and if we get together on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, if it's like on a band rehearsal day, like I'll bring shot glasses, some wine, or we'll bring like birthday cake and stuff like that. We'll have a good time. Like these people really are like my family. Because they've all been in the band for at least 3 years at this point. So it's like we just know each other a lot. I've been to each other's houses and help each other move, and stuff like that is really, really cool. It's just awesome, and it really just it was just great, man. Just playing shows, being in the community, and just yeah, man, they from California and Georgia like email you to like play with them, and it's just like it's awesome, man. You really all just be up there playing, people headbanging, and like really feeling the being up there with your bandmates, it's going crazy. God, it's awesome. Yeah, this band's definitely my baby, man. I love this one so much. I love all my bandmates. It was really good, man. And who knows, it might be back one day. Play 1 or 2 shows here and there, but right now just working on new music, working on some music videos that we're gonna plan out and everything, and just keep it going, so even if we're not, playing live, we can still release music and put content out there and stuff like that, so that's pretty much the history of Soul Survival, man. The main band, the band, really. It's kind of the band that I show people, it's like Jar of Pandora is my ringtone on my phone. It's been that for, I think, like 5 or 6 years. Still haven't changed it. It's just really, really cool. Like my rhythm guitarist Dean even made us these posters of all the shows we played, or some of them. He actually missed a couple, but he made us like these posters and everything. It's really cool. These people are awesome, really super talented people. Dorothy and DJ were awesome. It was just really, really a fun time. Having Michelle up there just drumming away, and everyone just really feeling to have a good time. It was great. We had a lot of professional pictures taken. We had like a lot of video done. We really like, put in the time, the effort, and the money for it, and it definitely paid off, man. We were itching to play shows all the time, and as soon as we got one, I was like, hey, can you guys do this date? And they're like, yeah, for sure. It was just awesome. It was just really awesome. Ain't nothing like playing live, dude. It's amazing. But yeah, that's Soul Survival for you. And art explanation will be coming next, and then after that, a riff dissection. If you want to check out any of the Soul Survival stuff, I'll link the channel right down below. If you guys like this, you can like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and rock on.